are live. It is August 18th. It's Thursday. We're back here. We're going to be joined by Jeff Kerins for another episode of Jeff Tells Us How to Live Our Lives Better Than We Know How to Ourselves. I see that face.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
We're going to have a good time. I got to switch this up now so that we can see you because we're going to plan on doing this. All right, let me get me out of the way. I don't need me on your screen. And we are going to switch it over. There's Jeff. Get over there and look, man, it looks bright over there. You're happy. That's Canadian all the way. All right, I'm right here. We got our situation back up. So what you been doing, Jeff? You were doing, man, your lighting is so much better than mine. I'm jealous. This is unacceptable for me. You were setting up the Surrender Club the last time we talked. How's the Surrender Club going? Tell us about it. What are we doing?
The Surrender Club is officially good to go. You can sign up, become a member. It's only $12 a month. And it's really focusing on your mental, physical, and emotional health. Like everything that I've learned, say, in the last 13 years on a mind, body, kind of soul level. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring everything that's available and costs a fuck ton of money. I'm trying to bring mental health and physical health, like all the modalities, if you will, that major corporations offer, stuff like that. And then even the fringe ones, that, big pharma don't like. So my travels this summer are being locked down. I really got into Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. From reading You Are the Placebo, Breaking the Habit of Being You, and right now what we're going to talk about from tonight, you can see all my tabs here.
There's so many tabs. I feel like I'm back in school. What do you got?
Becoming Supernatural. Oh, this is for me, buddy, not you. So now there's one little modality in here that I really like, and it's the heart brain coherence. There's a heart meditation. It was invented by the Heart Math Institute, which Dr. Joe Dispenza uses in his workshops, or so his books tell me. And so every meditation that he practices, I've tried. I've he gives like an hour, 2 hours. I give like 10 to 15 minutes just to see. So I won't bore you with all the details, but this one on heart intelligence. Now, what I learned, and this is scientifically proven, is that our heart has between 40,000 and 90,000 neurons in it. Now, for your viewers who don't know what a neuron is, neurons are what fires in the brain. Now, your brain's got billions of neurons. And when neurons fire together, they wire together and they create synapses. So electrical impulses. So we can either wire ourselves to become happy, or we can wire ourselves to become depressed, anxious, angry, doesn't matter. I won't bore you with all those details. We can always talk about that another time. But what I want you to really try, and this is why, and really I want to tell you why I believe. So there's a meditation on how to fire up the neurons in your heart. And it's really fascinating. So now as I'm reading it and everything else, just real start, you just sit back and you just start breathing slowly and deeply. Like it gets deeper, it gets slower. And all the focus is in your chest area, just in and out, in. It's so even just for 15 minutes, because I was already in between beta and theta anyways. So I was already relaxed. I didn't need to calm down. I didn't need to calm my mind down. I was kind of, if you will, in the zone. So now what this does, so bringing your awareness to your heart, it fires up the heart. And meaning, so when you get it going, it's going to start releasing chemicals. It starts beating differently. And it's okay, so the first time I practiced it, I did the breathing, and within about 15, 20 minutes, I could literally feel when you meet somebody for the first time, when I meet a woman for the first time, and we connect on a whole bunch of levels. My heart literally flutters. It beats differently. It's like when you're angry, your heart beats differently. When you're turned on, your heart beats differently. And when we live in stress, fight or flight all the time, our heart just gets erratic. So there's no connection between the heart and the brain. There's just discoherence. So this helps get coherence, gets that on the right rhythm, and the brain picks up on that, and then you have heart brain coherence. So yeah, sorry,
Okay.
something happened in the background. No,
Nope,
be like
just
that.
you're happening in the background.
I don't even know why I'm getting the sound through it. I've got this thing on silent. All right, done. Sorry about that. So yeah. Now, so when I started doing it, my heart literally started fluttering. I could feel my body relax and really just start to feel good. It was just, it kind of just took me to just another level of feeling. So I was like, okay, this deserves my attention. And every day I walk like 4 kilometers. I don't know. I think that's like 100 miles to you guys. No, I'm kidding. It's like 2 miles. I don't know, 1.8. I don't know. It's nothing big, but it's enough to, I discovered really walking when I had PTSD, anxiety through the roof, like anxiety so bad, it didn't even want to be in my body. And the one thing that helped calm me down was walking. So I've been walking almost for about 10 years, thousands of kilometers, getting rid of that anxiety. So on my walks, and I usually go late at night, so I don't have to bump into people because I don't want to. And I do carbon dioxide training as well. So I was doing the breath work, doing it, and I just kept focusing on my heart. I'm probably about 25, 30 minutes into my walk. So just breathing in and out, just focusing on my heart. Now, why do I believe this is possible? Like, why do I believe just thinking about my heart could fire up the neurons in it or getting it beating a different way? So you might be old enough. Do you remember Billy Idol?
Billy Idol's still a thing. What are you talking about?
All right.
Do I remember Billy Idol? I act like Billy Idol's dead.
So here's the thing, man. Now, back in grade 6, Billy Idol was the biggest thing. Rebel Yell, whatever, this and that. Me as a fat kid with the mullet and the lumberjack kid.
We need to be specific. Back in grade 6 in Canada, Billy Idol was the thing.
1986.
Yeah, 1986 was Michael Jackson. Okay, I'm talking about that's the king of pop.
All right, you need to stop talking so I can do this.
Okay.
All right, we good? Good.
Okay.
So, I love you. So, like when these books or whatever say, bring your awareness to this, bring your awareness to that, I'm like, most people being like, that's just impossible. Like, I can't control that, and whatever. So, back in grade 6, Billy Idol's the biggest thing, and one of the kids in my class's older brother. He could do the lip snarl. Can you do the lip snarl?
What lip snarl? What are you talking about? What does that mean?
You know, what the rebel yell?
I don't know if I could sing with it, but
can you do it?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. So we're sitting in class.
I can't do it on the right side of my face, though. So
fair enough. Now here's the thing. So we're all like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And so we're all trying it. And we're all doing. Like me, Tony Johnson, Martin Kuchar, and this other kid that I don't really care about. So we're all trying it, and we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. And it was a Friday, and on Monday, we come back in. Now, this is the 80s, so no internet, whatever. You're not phoning, whatever. And so me and Tony are early to class. We're just, shooting the shit. And then Martin just comes strutting in like a big dick in a locker room, just And he sits down. He's like, guys, check it. And we're like, oh, shit. How the fuck did you do that, man? He's like, all weekend, I just put my finger there and I just kept it there watching TV. And I was like, stay there. And he did it. So we're like trying this for the rest of the day and whatever. Like within 48 hours, I literally took control, my upper lip going, and I've been able to do it ever since. So what I couldn't control before, I made my mind control it. So this is what made me believe that I could literally take my awareness into my heart, just breathing, getting out of beta, just and just focus and just
Okay.
focus. So as I'm walking along, I had an English bulldog years ago. I had him for almost 12 years. His name was Romeo, and loved that fucking dog. And had to put him down on my birthday. And he had cirrhosis of the liver, shit like that, and he was fading fast. So yeah, and so as I'm breathing, all of a sudden, I just start getting images of my dog, like all the best moments, all the where I thought he was awesome, where he was like comforting me at times, just all the parts I fucking loved having him in my life. And they all just came flooding back. And then it just takes me back to, like, my dad passed away in 2016. It took me back to times with my dad, just laughing and everything else. And it even took me back to when I was 22 years of age and my son was first born. And I had a lot of baby mama drama going on and everything else. And like a lot of stress, but there was moments where like my son's sleeping, like say like wrapped up in my clothes, or he's sleeping on me, just like the most adorable, cutest, loving moments. And all these images just came flooding back into my head. And I'm walking, and I won't lie, I just started crying in gratitude. Like I couldn't control it. It was so overwhelming. It felt so loving. It felt so good that I almost tripped and passed out. It was that intense. So I was like, and ever since that walk, I feel like a different person. Like I have less triggers now, or less things that annoy me, things that did annoy me before, not annoying me now. And I just really just feel more loving, if you will, more compassionate, more empathetic, more forgiving. It's so much easier to get to that level. Just so every day, just for a couple of minutes, say I'm driving or I'm doing something, start breathing, and I just focus on the heart. And literally the first stage is the only way I can explain it is when you meet somebody you're attracted to or you like, not on a sexual level, but just like, it can be that, but just all levels. And it just makes the heart flutter a little bit more.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of the parts in the book. It's one of the parts I want to really introduce into the practice, because a lot of people who are stressed out are burning out. Like I know a lot of good people after 2 years of being locked down and everything else. I've noticed the most level-headed people before lockdown, and like they're always rational, cool, could see, like never freaked out.
Right.
They're probably the most bitter people now, like just angry, irritated.
Yeah. Oh,
And I'm not here to judge. I'm just noticing. It's just an observation, if you will. So I'm trying to get people, at least give them the tools or the awareness that you can get back, because we've been programmed with a lot of shit. Like we've had a lot of shit thrown on us through social media, news, governments, everything else. And some people agree with, some don't. And that's not my business to judge people either which way, because I really just try and connect on one level, and that's the human level.
Right.
We all think, we all feel, and we all think. And race, gender, religion, all sexuality, all that is second, third, fourth, whatever, down the line. But the first thing is we're all human beings, and we all deserve acceptance, and we all deserve to be loved. Like, because that's really deeply what we want. Now, I know that sounds sappy and everything else, but you know what fucking sucks? Depression, anxiety, addictions, all that shit sucks.
Right.
And all of that is rooted in emotional pain, emotional trauma. Now, some people might not have gone through emotional traumatic events,
Right.
but over time in life, they might have created beliefs that, life is tough. They're not going to find love. They're not going to find the one. And they're not like, you know what I'm saying? You go through a couple of rough rides in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and you repeat that, you start to lose hope in life because of the feeling. Because we're always waiting for something external to happen to change our internal environment. And which I've learned the hard way is that we got to change our inner world, and then our outer world change. Subjective mind and feelings to an objective world.
Yeah, I know That's what you think. I just don't. I'm not all in with that, and I'll tell you
I know.
why.
How's it?
I,
I don't need you to be.
you're right. You don't need me to be. I'll tell you why I'm not 100% on board with that. Because sometimes when I
Please.
feel bad or
Mhm.
down or depressed about something, what what gets me out of that is just to get up and do something external to
Like what?
it could be any, it could be make the bed, it could be get up, go to the gym, it could be I need to accomplish a task to build some sort of forward momentum, because if I just sit there and think about it, I waste time. I can't. I do this for, and I think I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on other episodes that we've done. But like some days, if you wake up and you're just like, oh, everything hits you, it floods you, all these thoughts of depression or things I haven't done or things I need to do and things I don't know how I'm gonna do, and you get stuck. Like for me, I just get stuck. To get unstuck, I have to do an external thing. I can think about it all, and then I'll pick one thing and go, okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do a thing, and that builds momentum.
Okay, perfect. Now you're okay. You are right. Now here's the thing. You get up in the morning and you do something positive for you. You're not going to light a cigarette. You're not having a
Right.
drink. You're
No.
not texting exes. You're not doing toxic behavior.
Correct.
And after a workout, no matter what, you get endorphins.
Right.
Now, what I teach and what I do in doing these techniques is so you don't wake up feeling like you're shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Feeling like you're stuck. Now, my man, you're a good person. You've told me your story. You've gone through some rough things, but in the grand comparison of what people have gone through in this life, you've had it pretty good, my man.
Yeah.
Like, you're not abused. You're not sexually, verbally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. No, I know what
and
you're saying.
you're a hard worker. Like, and I've always said, I think I've said this publicly, but I'll say it publicly now. I like your attitude. Like, you've never let your self-care slip to a point where, there's holes in the boat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't. I stop myself from ever going down any kind of self deprivation. I look at it and go, this will not help me in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to do that. So yeah, self harm or anything negative in my life doesn't. I'd never go down that road. And I told someone today, I said, alcohol in no way will ever improve your life, ever. There's 0% chance that consuming alcohol will make your life better in any way. I'm not saying that you shouldn't drink socially, have a good time, have a drink with friends, have beers. But if you're ever at a point where you're thinking, I need to change something, and alcohol is the answer, it is not the, it was 0% chance. So, and I told somebody that today who had fucking sitting there with a DUI.
It's like this. Drugs and alcohol are supposed to make a good time better. That's what they're invented for, I believe. But if you're using it to run away, to escape your own inner world, then yeah, self-destructive
makes
all
a
the way.
bad time. It makes a bad time a worse time.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
of course, because it's just going to grow from there. But again, it's like, I need you to kind of open up your mind, because what I teach is the internal anxiety, the internal depression. I mean, depression where the sun can be as bright, no cloud in the sky, and the sun's right there, and everything seems dark.
Right.
You could be in a stadium full of people and you feel like no one is there.
Right.
Like you've never experienced that, and God love you. But there's a ton of people that have, and they don't have solutions except external. I'll change jobs. I'll get a new girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, this, that. They're always trying to run away. They're trying to critically think out of the emotional pain that is caused in their body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with me, where my life went total upside down and everything else on every level, I'm coming up on almost on it. I don't want to say what anniversary it is, because I don't need people going down on the internet looking for shit. And it's just more, it's just more like there's other people involved and it'll affect their healing. And I'm not selling people out for likes and subscribes. I have more character than that. But I had to learn. It was like when I realized I wasn't, like, the night I was going to kill myself, and I didn't, I knew I had to change.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, I was like, okay, everything I believe, I have to throw out the window, because everything I believed drew me to this point. Like, there's other people who've been through worse shit than me, and they're still kicking. They're still going. You know, some heal, some just survive. I wanted to heal. I didn't want to survive anymore. So years of research and formal education too, as well, and everything else. But it was like, if I'm going to live, I'm not going to live like this.
Right.
So it's like, what I want to give, if I can give people the power to do anything, is the power over themselves. And usually it's the emotional state. And what creates our emotions? Our thoughts, our memories, our past, and our diet. What are we putting in our body? What shouldn't we be putting in our body? And we're not aware. And then all of a sudden we just get into the loop. And then we're just going sucked right down. And then we repeat it the next day.
Right.
Repeat it the next month, and the next year, the next life. And again, my specialty is to teach people, like with A.S.L.E.F.T, which has formed in or evolved into SAFE: surrender, acceptance, forgiveness, and empathy. Those 4 words can heal any emotional trauma, any. And you got to remember, the body is always trying to go back to homeostasis. And what does homeostasis feel like? Like, what do we label homeostasis as? Peace, love, joy, compassion, forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, things come easy when things are feeling good. It's like, okay, you have a miserable week. It's Friday night. You have a couple of drinks. In that first stage, you stimulate the limbic system. The dopamine, I'm not a biologist. I won't go into it, but it's like everything gets stimulated in the body to the simulation of caring, friendship, love. You know what I'm saying? You know, the first stage of drinking, you're buying a person at the end of the bar a drink because you like the way they look. At stage 5 of drinking, where the ego shuts down and all the emotions come out, you're now punching that person at the end of the bar for the way that they look.
Okay. That escalated quickly. Oh, man.
So it's all these different techniques that we can learn that just empower ourselves. And that's what I'm all about. I want people to heal. I want people to have the power, at least the knowledge. What you do with it is what you do with it. It's like, you can hang out with George St. Pierre for a month and he teaches you the sweetest roundhouse kick and a rear naked chokehold, or Khabib. You know what I'm saying? The guy's the master of the rear naked chokehold and the triangle and everything else. But if you don't practice it, you just wasted your time.
Yeah. I mean, changing someone's mindset is the hardest transformation that they go through. It's very difficult.
You're absolutely right. And I'm not going to change anybody's mind. I'm just going to teach them how to change their feelings. You change the feelings, you change your thoughts. We're trying to do it ass backwards. Like, when we go through something terrible in life or traumatic, we try and think our way out of emotional pain. And that's like a salmon swimming upriver.
Well, they do that all the time. That's a bad analogy. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. At what point do you find someone is the hardest to get through to? At what point in their life, like, how do I even word this? Well, what person is the hardest one to get through to? Like, is it the person who just has anxiety from overworking themselves? Is it the person who has traumatic experiences from friends or family or something that they experienced? Is it the person who just constantly stayed in a life they were unhappy with? Is it relations? Like, what's the one thing is usually the hardest to get out of and change that mindset?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that question make sense to you?
Like, okay, so if I understand you correctly, you're asking, what is a person going through that they won't, like, how severe does it have to be till they change their mind?
Oh, if that's what I'm trying to say. Like, all right, for people listening that have anxiety or stress or depression or whatever, like, think about the scenarios that put people into these. We could probably clump them up into like 5 or 8 different general life occurrences, right? It's going to be like financial stress or relationship problems or, professional issues or family problems, like, right? Or Could be just straight up trauma from war or active duty or whatever.
Growing up in an abusive, addictive household.
Growing up in an abusive, addictive household. I could think that would be pretty high up on the list for sure.
So what is your question, my friend?
My question is what group of people would you find the hardest to get through to overcome this thing and make a change in their life?
All right. So when I got a friend who phones me up, and I've cut off a lot of friends because and I'll tell you why. It's not because I'm a bad person. I didn't cut them off saying I won't talk to you anymore. I just cut them off saying you're not going to exhaust any more of my energy. So if you got that friend that phones you up, this is what I'm going through, this is what's happening and whatever, and they tell you the whole story and you're listening intently, and then you spend like 20 to 30 minutes giving them the best, most heartfelt advice in your life, and you know it'll work for them if they do it. And then their reply is, but you don't understand. And then they repeat the cycle again. Those people are energy vampires, straight up. Now, if you want to Google trans-theoretical model of change, okay? And you're putting me on the spot here. So if I remember correctly, it's been a few years. So there's a stage. There's pre-contemplation, contemplation, planning, action, maintenance, execution of the plan, okay? So let's say alcoholism for lack of a better, okay? Someone's an alcoholic. Now, if they're saying, well, and you know they're a mess, but they can't own it, or they're saying like, I drink because my life is shit because of this, because of that, but they won't change. They're in the state of pre-contemplation, okay? You follow me?
I'm following you.
So pre-contemplation means I'm not contemplating change. Like I'm not contemplating that there's a problem. I'm in pre-contemplation, meaning I'm in denial.
Okay.
So it's life's fault. It's this fault. It's whatever fault. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So in contemplation, you could be like, there might be a problem. Like I got to change. You know, like my life is self-destructing. Then you plan. Okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to go to rehab? Am I, going to get a sponsor? What am I going to do?
Okay.
Then you execute said plan. I'm going to do it. Doing it tomorrow. Quitting drinking tomorrow. And then there's maintaining that plan. Like what happens if I relapse? What happens if I slip? Who am I going to call? Like what if I'm having a craving? Whatever. Who am I going to call? And then maintenance of the plan. And then you, like when you finally have succeeded in whatever change you wanted to do, you terminate the plan. You know what I'm saying? But in recovery, like that's a bad example because in recovery, it's always going on.
Right.
When you're in recovery, you're always in recovery. That's an AA thing. I don't personally agree with it, but I respect it, if you will. So, but here's the thing. I could say, you can talk to me tonight about my drinking and I say, there's not a problem. There's not a problem. And I go home and I get into a car accident and I hurt myself or somebody. And I phone you up and I tell you what happened. I'm like, I'm never fucking drinking again. You went from contemplation, planning to execution, right to execution. You skipped the first two and you're in execution. I'm not fucking drinking anymore. Okay.
Okay.
And then you go forward being like, how am I going to get through that? And then, moving forward. But in pre-contemplation, like you can jump anywhere on the model of change. You know what I'm saying? Like I quit smoking. I'm never doing it again. All right. Execution. Like you terminate the plan. There is no plan. You're just not doing it anymore. You made you contemplated it, right to just never touching it again.
Okay.
All right. But if you're in pre-contemplation, then there's no movement. So I usually send my friends or people who are draining my energy, and I literally try, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm being paid for it. I literally try and help them, burn an hour or two talking to them. And I send the next time they come back, because they, they still went and did the stupid shit, but they're like, you know what, you're right. I'm like, thanks. And then they try and get my energy again. I send them, because they're not willing to change. They're willing to go do it again because they're just playing victim. I send them because I got my own, it's on my page on Facebook, and so I send them this thing, it's all the stages of change.
Okay. And
I circle pre-contemplation with an arrow, and I'm like, that's you. And until you get out of that, I can't help you and you can't help you.
How do they
So
get out of it? What's the step?
Making the fucking decision that you want change.
Some people are just
Acknowledging.
How do you push
There you go. And
you
can't, but you can't. If you,
okay,
how's this? If you want them to change, like if you want them, then you just love them. You just radiate love. Like, you know, they won't listen to you. You know, they won't change, but you care for them. That's why you want them to change. So you just sit there, and I've done it with people. I just love them. Like, I feel love for them. No judgment, no nothing, just love them. And usually that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Because again, they won't, now maybe they'll change or maybe they'll kill themselves drinking, but that's not on you. And it's not on you to fix.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Oh, I'm trying to think of things that that I can throw in here that we can put out there. I've got a friend who is a smoker. She's like one of the few people I know that still smokes cigarettes. She's supposed to stop smoking. That was the deal that was made. She went to Romania for 2 months over the summer. She came back. Supposed to stop smoking. And part of the transformational change was that she was going to work out every day with me in the morning. She's going to get up. We're going to go to the gym, and she's going to make positive change. She wants to lose weight. She wants to feel better. She's been depressed over the loss of her mother and her father this last year. And, you know, she's a good person, and she finds herself a lot of times just down. And I'll give her this. She's getting up, she's going to the gym, and she's doing exactly what I tell her to do. And the first week was full of a lot of I can'ts. A lot of can'ts. And I was like, we are not interested in what you can't do. We're going to be interested in what you can do. You're telling yourself that you can't do a lot of things, and I don't care, because you can. Maybe you can't lift 50 pounds, but you can lift 40 pounds, right? So we're going to change the way you think. And through doing that and through hard work, we're going to change the way you feel about yourself. And in 2 weeks' time, she's made some pretty good progress in the gym. I'm proud of her. And I keep asking her, how's the smoking? Oh, well, you know, I'm still smoking. Well, how much? The same amount. Okay, well, I'm going to come over there and throw them away. How's that going to make you feel? Well, she just won't give up the smoking yet. So I'm trying to make little steps, right? I haven't dealt with someone who's like addicted to something in quite some time, and she needs to make a change because it's bad for your health. Obviously, smoking cigarettes is awful. But through, you know, working out, what we talked about in the beginning of this was how exercise and stuff builds, you know, you release endorphins, you feel better. Like, she can show up to the gym not in a good mood, feeling down, not okay. And I'm like, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go walk on the Stairmaster. Why? Because it fucking sucks. It's awful. The worst thing in the building. Well, how long are we going to walk? I don't know, until we fucking can't walk anymore. We're going to do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't care. Let's go. And guess what? At the end of the workout, she always leaves with a smile on her face, and she leaves happy, and her day is better. And sometimes we just got to, I think we have to just make little goals and little adjustments. And I get it that it's like you can't make people change. But I think, like you said, if you love them and you're positive that you can show somebody support when they need it, and just give them, maybe it's just a little push. I don't know. I want her to quit smoking. I don't know how to break through that one, because that's something that she's just got to battle on her own and just put down the cigarettes and say, I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'm hoping that maybe through the discipline of getting up every day and suffering and realizing that, and I told her this, I said, I want to change the mindset of, I'm going to the gym, I can't lift that. I want to change that mindset to, tomorrow I'm going to see if I can lift this. And once we flick that switch, it's game on, right? We're going to really start to maybe see some momentum go. Because we're going to change the way that you think about yourself and what you're what you're capable of doing. And maybe that will transition into her being able to quit smoking. I don't know. That addiction's tough, right? Because that is a internal, I need to stop doing this. And smoking doesn't seem to be bad for people who smoke. You know, they don't seem to care. I don't know what to do with that one.
I'm a 30-year smoker, man, and I've been trying to quit. So,
yeah,
anyways, don't even try and fucking smoke shame me. I'll fucking psychologically break you. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, my man. Like, I get it. You come, like, unfortunately, your influences are like fucking Jonathan Tate and assholes like that.
Oh,
So
get out of here.
I try and empathize with you to a point because you do good things. Now, it's like, it's what I learned when after my dad died and I was literally killing myself with just cigarettes and coffee and nothing else. I was down to 120 pounds. I couldn't fucking breathe, everything else. And now I'm up to 175, you know, but I'm still a smoker. But here's the thing. It's like, instead of saying tomorrow and you're dealing with somebody with depression. And honestly, my friend, you might want to read up on that because depression's a whole different animal, man. But it's like, it's not like tomorrow I'm going to lift this much. It's tomorrow I'm just going to lift something. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to do something.
Right.
Because I am living proof that if you just do even one set of, say, 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 reps, you get change. You know what I'm saying?
What I tell her is this: the one thing that sticks out to me that Rogan said a long time ago, which is 90% of it is just showing up. That's it. You know what? If you want to make a change, you want to lose weight, all you need to do tomorrow is show up. And the next day, that's it. Because I promise you this, 0% will happen if you don't show up. And it's not like it's like I said, I'm not expecting you to come in and go, oh, well, tomorrow I'm going to do that. I want to say over time, we show up and we turn the I can'ts into I cans over time, where you go, oh, I didn't used to be able to do this. You know, and I talked to her today and she goes, hey, I showed people at work, like, oh, I could see this muscle. I could never see it before. And I'm proud that I can see it. It seems stupid. And I was like, no, it's good that you look at yourself and you're happy that you have done something over the last 2 weeks and you are proud of yourself. And tomorrow when you show, I did her dirty yesterday. I did her so dirty, Jeff. Oh, it was great. It was amazing. This is what we did. She goes, I'm excited. It's leg day. And I'm like, I fucking hate leg day. But you know what? You're excited. You know what we're going to do? Every morning we've been doing stair stepper. Because for one, the first time I put her on it, she wanted to fucking throw up after 2 minutes. And I was like, unacceptable. Now she's up to like 15 minutes. You can do it. So I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start off with rows. We're not even going to do the Stairmaster. It's leg day. So we did rows for 10 minutes. And then we did squats and we did some deadlifts and we did some leg presses and we did all these leg exercises for your booty. And then we had 10 minutes left. And I was like, oh man, we got 10 minutes. All right, let's finish it up. And I start walking upstairs. She goes, where are you going? I said, we're going upstairs. She goes, oh, well, what are we going to do up here? And I was like, we're just going to keep going up the stairs. And she goes, what? And I go, stair stepper. And she was like, are you fucking kidding me? We didn't do that. I'm like, I know we didn't. I saved it for last because that's just what kind of asshole I am. And that's what we're going to do 10 minutes on the Stairmaster. And she was like, I can't do this. I'm like, oh, you're going to fucking do it. And she did it 10 minutes. And at the end of it, you know what? You leave there and you go, accomplished. And it was a dirty maneuver. I know, because we were tired, legs hurt. And I was like, this is going to fucking suck ass. I don't want to do it. But you know what? I'll sit there and suffer with you and we'll make it through and you're going to be okay. And at the end of it, like it comes down to, you're going to be okay. Right? That's what you say all the time. You're right. Acceptance. Acceptance in just a physical form. Like, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. And maybe you can't do the stair stepper on 8. Maybe we need to put it on 4. That's fine. You can do this. You will be okay.
Just do something.
Just do something. Just show up, man. Fuck. I don't care. We went up there. She goes, well, you know, a lot of women, I think, even probably some men who are in bad physical condition. But yeah, let's just assume that. Men in bad physical shape, overweight, underweight, doesn't matter. Women, overweight, underweight, doesn't matter, are scared to even show up because of the judgment that they feel other people around them put on them. Look, I told her this. You go there, you lift 5 pounds, you're gonna curl 5 pounds. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. I said, you know why they judge you? They judge you if you don't show up. That's the only reason we judge you. If you show up here and you pick something up, we appreciate what you're doing, period. That's the mentality of people who go to the gym. No one gives a fuck that you can't lift 10 pounds. They care that you showed up. Stop.
That's a very
people
egoic solution.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
First of all, giving a fuck what anybody else thinks just makes
Pump
you
it
a
up.
fucking prisoner to them.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Don't give a fuck. Don't care.
That's right. So it's like you show up, you lift, you do whatever you're doing because you're there, because what the lifestyle you were living before was creating the depression. It's part of it.
Right.
Or the anxiety. So you are actually, like as Dispenza says, if you want to feel different, you actually have to do something different to feel different. Like, because the recipe, it's not right, it's not wrong. It's just a recipe. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's creating this life on a feeling level and on a thinking level. So you want to, and at times, sometimes you have to think greater than you feel. Like, I teach, surrender, acceptance, forgiveness, stuff like that. And there's times I've had just like, I'm sitting in the bath after a fucking shit ass day. Like I'm just anxious. And I didn't do myself any favors by like, smoking fucking a pack of butts and drinking 3 double doubles on an empty stomach. I did not do myself any favors. I'm not helping myself out. So, but I'm sitting in the bathtub and I was like, and whenever I'm feeling stressed, I go into acceptance. It's okay. I'm okay. It's going to be okay. It's okay. I'm okay. It's going to be okay. Because that usually, because you're not creating a problem, you're calming the mind down. So the feelings that you've been suppressing and repressing are now going to come to the surface and you can surrender to them. That's the way I've always used it. But nothing was coming to the surface. Now, I learned something that night. This was like 2 years ago. Is that, I was saying, it's okay. I'm okay. It's going to be okay. I did it 20 times, wasn't feeling anything different. No tears are coming to the surface. By the 150th time saying it, like my bathwater was almost cold. You know what I'm saying? Like but I finally matched. Like when acceptance is more than just a thought, it's a feeling. Because when you're in true acceptance, there's a willingness, there's a compassion, there's just like everything. You feel everything's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I literally convinced myself by drilling it into me. And it took, I don't know how long, but I was like, wow, I'm in the hundreds now of saying, it's okay. I'm okay. It's going to be okay. And then finally, my feeling in my body matched my thoughts. And I was like, wow, like I really truly felt it. Like I was in acceptance, like it's okay. Everything's going to be all right. And it just shifted my whole day, my whole week. And tomorrow was a lot better than what I was repeating leading up to that. And I chilled on the double doubles.
Yeah, it helps. I mean, discipline is I'll tell you, I was doing 2-a-day gyms for 7 days a week for like 3 months. It was, people kept telling me, oh, you're just, this is too much. You shouldn't do this. You need a rest day. And I'm like, I don't want to rest. I do not want to do that. Well, I took about a week and a half off of doing the mornings. So I didn't get up and go in the morning. I just went in the afternoon. And I tell you, man, it fucked my whole day up. It really did. I woke up later. Instead of getting up at 7:30, I got up at 9. And then I just came down and I watched the stock market, did my live streams and printed t-shirts. But I felt like I started my day off like I'm missing something. Like I don't feel good anymore. And getting up and going, even if I just do a little bit, just move something, I did it. And they're like, oh, it's just too much. And I'm like, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's the discipline of doing it. And then when I told Nico, I said, hey, you're going to come train with me, no days off. And she goes, what about rest day? I said, we cannot have rest days because we cannot tell ourselves that it's okay just to quit. You don't want to come. I don't want to go. That's fine. We're going to go anyway. But if we start telling ourselves, we just skip a day, then we're just going to skip 2 days. Then we're going to skip, maybe we'll just skip 3 days. And she tried to skip out on day 3. I got a text message. Oh, I'm really tired. I made the kids dinner. I ate. I'm full. And I said, we skip 0 fucking days. 8 p.m. They're still open. There's no excuse. Okay. And I made her drive farther away to a different gym because fuck you for trying to skip. And then I cut the sleeves off my David Goggins shirt and wore that thing. And I was like, you're about to get the business. You don't know me, son. And I put her through hell for an hour and a half. What'd you get?
You're a good friend.
I am. And at the end of it, you're happy.
I wonder what your humanitarian speech is going to read like. So it's like, well, I could have told you that if you're going to skip a workout, you skip the evening workout.
That's right.
You start your day off rushing the endorphins and everything else. Gives you a ton of energy through the day.
I don't
But
like to skip any.
that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah, you got to be just, if I can just advise, man, and you're being a good friend, but careful how hard you push with someone who's dealing with depression. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you know, I'm not mean. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this together. It's not like I'm making you just do it. We're
yeah.
doing it
That's the one thing I
together,
like. That's the
and
one thing I like about you.
you're gonna
You're willing to
be,
do the stairs. You're
yeah.
willing to do the
I'll do it.
workouts.
We're
You're
both
doing
gonna.
it
It's
with.
gonna suck for both of us, and you know what? We're gonna be okay. We're gonna walk out of here, and tomorrow we're gonna feel fine. We're gonna be, and we're gonna keep doing it, and then we're gonna be excited to be here, and you're gonna see change, and you're gonna be excited. And the next thing you know, it's gonna be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and you're gonna be in here like, man, I'm gonna look, man, like my kid. Hey, you curl that 50? I said, I'm gonna curl 55. He's like, I said, I haven't even tried it, but fuck, I'm gonna go curl that shit. And damn right, I curled it. He said, you think you can do it?
With one arm?
Fuck yeah, one arm. One arm, 55
Attaboy.
curls. Let's do that shit. Man, look at that
How's
thing.
this?
Boom.
Well-
Look at that shit, Jeff. You don't know. You don't know what you're messing with. Your boy's getting jacked. We're working out every day for 4 months straight.
Yeah.
I'm a
Well, how's
beast.
this, my man? Well, it's like anybody who's getting into working out the first time, when you're changing your life and you're going to do something exhausting or energy taking, it feels like an event. It feels like an event. Like, so you have to gear yourself up for it.
Yeah. It's very
but
hard to do on your own. It's so hard.
I did it, so it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm like the laziest fucker there is. So, but it's the thing is, when you just do, it's like you said, just show up, or you just do one thing because you're there, you're going to do more because you're there.
Right. Yep.
You're in the moment. You're not laying in your bed. You're not eating donuts. You're there.
Yep.
So you're like, all right, I'm going to keep doing this. Now, it's when you turn an event into a lifestyle. So there was times like I was fighting through depression, anxiety, complex PTSD, like malnutrition. I just knew I had to do something. And I started off doing 15 sit-ups and 15 push-ups a day. I literally would slither off my bed and then slither back onto my bed. And I would just do it every day. And then I get home from work. I wouldn't step into my room, because once I'm in my room, it's just like, feel sorry for Jeff time. And that's till the next day. So I would drop down right at the entrance of my room, 15 sit-ups, 15 push-ups. Now, I've done extreme workouts when I was younger, and you get them fast, you got the pain,
Right.
and, you rip the muscles, drink the protein, and you bulk up pretty fast. Now, that's fucking exhausting, I believe.
Okay.
And again, I'm a lazy human being. So after 2 weeks, I woke up one morning and I could just see a difference in my chest and in my stomach. So I got home that day with more energy, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do 30 and 30. Then it was 50 and 50, because I could start seeing the results.
Right.
And my body wasn't looking at, or my mind wasn't looking at it as an event anymore. It was just something we got to do. And now, since we're here, let's do it. So I went out and got some dumbbells. Now I'm still a lazy person. So I'm only doing 2 sets of something. So I got to give up something. I was like, all right, I'll give up the sit-ups, do the push-ups, and I'll do 1 set of arm curls. Did that for a couple of weeks, started seeing the results. And I was like, okay, I go on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, get a bench for $100 with the bells and everything else with the weight. It's like, okay, I'll just do 1 set of bench, 1 set of curls. And it just grew from there. So now I start off my day doing 1 set of everything, just one. And some days I'm feeling like shit, because I got a lot of fucking problems in my life that could consume me at any moment. But since it hasn't consumed me, and I surrender through it and I accept it and get past it, I'm like, just 1 set. So one set of squats, because I went and got a squat rack. 1 set of sit-ups, 1 set of benching, 1 set of curls, 1 set of dumbbells. And so my mind is like, because my mind will agree to do one thing once.
Okay.
But if it gets repetitive, my ADD is like, fuck that. So, but again, it's like, so now when the endorphins are going, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm seeing the pump. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do another. I'm really liking the way my chest is looking. I'm going to do another set. I'm going to do another set. So I'm pretty much at the point now where I just kind of look in the mirror and it's like, because let's be honest, I only work out not to help people move. I work out either for my partner that I'm with to find me attractive or clothes look good on me. Like, I'm not joining no fucking Tough Mudder fucking marathon. Couldn't give a shit, mate. I'm a pack a day smoker. Fuck that. But I want to look good. Like, I need my self-esteem, because if I don't have it, I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm just like knowing, like, the way we beat ourselves up when we're not doing what we believe we should be doing, it's like being in a verbally abusive relationship in your head.
Yeah.
You are just
you're
kicking.
Right.
You are just kicking. You're just kicking the shit out of yourself. So it's like, when you say, I'll just do one, and it's worth it. It's like you're going to have slow progress, but if you're willing to do it for the rest of your fucking life, you're going to get progress.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
And like, I'm not comparing myself to anybody, not to another 46-year-old, not to anyone. I just look in the mirror and been like, do you like the way you look? I like the way I look. I like my waistline. I like I can see my abs. You know, I like the way my chest looks, my shoulder looks. I feel confident in talking to people. I'm not threatening them, nor am I offering to help them move. I'm just being me. And I feel like, and again, those endorphins and everything else, like, if there's really a law of vibration, which I do believe, I don't like saying law of attraction, fuck that shit. But on a quantum level, molecule has to meet molecule, particle has to meet particle, and whatever that particle is. So say that particle sadness, it's got to meet more sadness. So, but you in the morning, starting off your day, getting the endorphins going and everything else, you are literally raising your vibration to handle the stresses that come along, so you don't go into fight or flight.
I used to when I first got divorced, I put a piece of paper on the wall in my shop in the office, because I just go in the office and I'd sit in the computer and fuck off. You know, if I just that was like my little escape, and it was the only place that was like somewhat cool or warm, depending on what time of year it was. But it was October, November. I put up a sheet up there and I said, I'm going to do push-ups. I'm just going to write down how many I do. Every time I walk through the door, I owe myself 10 push-ups. And then I put a pull-up bar there. And every time I walk through, I just need, however many I can do, I just write it down. And then I set a challenge to do 3,000 push-ups in 1 month. And I ended up doing like 7,500 push-ups. Because I would just walk in and I look at the paper and I'm like, I can do 5 more. I can do 10 more. I can do 30 more. Like, I'm here. I can physically do it. I'm going to do it and see how many. And I challenged my son to do push-ups a couple weeks back, because he's trying to bulk up. He wants to go to the gym. He's trying to get into wrestling. And so he goes, I'm too tired. I can't go twice. I can't go to the gym again. I'm too tired. I'm like, if your dad can get up and go to the gym, you can go to the gym, bro. You're 14. What are you doing? So I said, all right, let's do push-ups. How many push-ups can you do? He's like, I can do a lot. I'm like, all right, challenge accepted. So one night I come home from the gym. I'd already worked out, did chest day. I'm tired. I said, how many push-ups you do? And he's like, none. I'm like, it's not enough. And he goes, all right. He comes back over. He goes, 20 more than you. And I was like, game on, little man. Game on. So I get down. You're 10 behind. All right. You're 10 behind. All right. You're 10 behind. So I do them in front of him. Keep in mind, I will go into your room and do push-ups in front of you just to show you. I don't even know how many I did that day. But he sent me a text at like 9:30 at night or something. And it was something. It was like, oh, you're 20 behind. And I said, fuck around and find out. That was my response. Fuck around and find out. I went in his room. I don't know how many I did that night, but I was 100 ahead of him at the end of the night. And I was like, good job, kid. I don't know how many we did, but you did them. You got up and you did them. You start pushing yourself. And it's hard. The discipline to keep going is tough. Man, it is
because
so
you make
hard.
it, because you, like, you're fucking Eureka of dude. You make everything a fucking competition, even with yourself.
Competition with yourself.
No, man.
It
just
is.
fucking, okay, I know. And it's fucking stupid, I believe. It works for you, but that's great. You're looking great, man. You're looking like Jim Carrey after spin class. What I'm saying is,
I'm about to Google
that
I'm Google this. Jim Carrey after spin class. Oh, man.
What I'm saying is that just do it. Like, you said you walk through the door, skip to other people who are listening or want to make a change. Don't get the fucking piece of paper. Don't fucking count it. Just walk. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Your Facebook photo at the gym. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
That's
man.
me. That's what I'm working for. This is
I know, man. Buddy, that's you. That's fucking
me
you.
right there after sprinkler. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
But to the other people who aren't as competitive as Lauren, when you walk, do what Lauren does. When you walk through that door, drop down and give yourself as many as you can do, and then get up and go on with your day, because that's more than what you did for the rest before in your life. And you will see a difference. You just have to be patient. Don't focus on the results. Just focus on the doing, and the results take care of itself.
Yeah, there's like, you know, on Rogan, it's Jocko's, I guess it's Jocko's tagline, but discipline equals freedom. And there is truth to that in all aspects of your life. Like, if you stay disciplined in doing a thing and you stay patient, it will set you free. It will set your mind, your body free, whatever it is.
Well, I'm sure fucking Jocko hasn't had to deal with depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever. He looks like he could kill a motherfucker.
Yeah, if anyone has dealt with PTSD, it's Jocko fucking Willie.
Has he?
He's had to have. He's been through more shit than any person on the planet, probably, next to David Goggins.
He hasn't. He's just a fucking meathead that talks about it and what he learned for.
Hey, man.
Like, no offense. Like I ain't going on his podcast anytime soon. So whatever, fuck it. But he just looks like a big fucking round ball. Never mind. That guy knows how to kill me more ways than I know how to die. So respect. But again, he comes from a military background that is nothing but structure and discipline. He knows nothing else. So there are other men out there that are men, cisgendered, heterosexual, that do feel macho, but don't give a shit about the competition.
No, I'm saying discipline. Fuck me. Being disciplined in your daily life makes a difference.
You know what can set you free? Your own fucking mind. You know, like whether it's whether you're like to the level of what the discipline he's talking about. Sure. I don't know. Is he talking about discipline and working out, cleaning his car? I don't know. But if you can get disciplined in dealing with your emotions, yeah, you will be emotionally free. You will feel free. It's rising above your environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just being an asshole. Like, I'm sure Jocko's an awesome guy, whatever. I like Dr. Huberman. I watched him on his Jocko's podcast, whatever. But it's like, I don't relate to those big fuckers. I don't relate like to the knowledge they might give. Like Huberman gives fucking amazing knowledge. But like Jocko, I look at Jocko, he reminds me of my ex fucking best friends that are just fucking meatheads, macho, not in touch with their feelings, fucking meatheads. Like they can only talk about sport, competition, women, this and that. They can't go below the surface. They had to get out of my fucking life because they're fucking meatheads. Broke my heart, but it's like, you know, in any relationship, you either grow together or you grow apart. My growth was so fucking huge and so transforming that I am not even the friend I was when they agreed to even say back in childhood. And that's okay. Like, I don't shit talk him, even though the guy shows a lot of signs of sociopath, can't hold down a marriage or whatever, this and that. But that's neither here nor there. And he doesn't watch my shit, so fuck him. Yeah, but it's like, there's a solution for everything, but every solution there is, it's inside of us. I've learned the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been broke for so long. Like I'm poor. I live in poverty, and I'm happier than more motherfuckers driving around in Beamers, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. It takes me under 120 seconds to know what somebody's about. Because I'm not listening to the words, I'm not looking at their actions. I'm looking at the feelings and everything behind it. Is it coming from a place of anger, insecurity, pride? Pride is a motherfucker, man. Pride goeth before the fall. So the more emotional a person is, the easier you are to manipulate. You cannot manipulate a stoic, humble person. You just can't.
Okay.
You know, like, and if you feel like if someone says something, like say it's like A.S.L.E.F.T, okay? So when I was trying to get A.S.L.E.F.T off the ground, you get a lot of resistance. I get one of two people. One, can you help me? Yes, I can. Or what's your qualifications? What have you been through? This and that. And it's like, you know what, man, I'm not here for you. And I used to get caught up. Like I would talk about surrender. I would talk about forgiveness. And they're like, that's nice. That's your reality. And I always felt compelled that I had to explain more to them so they got it. And it would just burn me out and frustrate me. Eventually they would shut up. Like they would concede because they couldn't argue past it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm exhausted after, and I'd come home and I'm just frustrated. So I pick up my book, Letting Go, and I just thumbed through it, and it just thumbed on the part of pride. And pride is an emotion. Pride you can surrender to and get back to a place of truth. So I was getting frustrated and upset, and I asked myself, because again, like if you say you're speaking your truth, and I just give you and that rattles you, you're not coming from a place of truth. You're coming from a place of pride. So after reading it and everything else for the umpteenth time, I sat there and I was like, and I could hear a voice in my head ask me, is as-left a truth? Like, is forgiveness, like for healing, not for making money or whatever, for healing, getting it past your trauma? I'm like, it is. Then it doesn't fucking matter what anybody else says. And then from that point on, I pick and choose. Like now I can tell who's receptive and who isn't, right off the get-go, even in one sentence talking about it. So, but I don't get involved. I don't engage. It's just like how you said, like when I'm talking about this stuff, you're like, well, I don't agree. I don't need you to. You know, like, but I don't need to hate you. I don't need to be like dissing you or anything else. We're still friends. We're still boys, but I don't need your belief system. I don't need your validation to validate my own beliefs, you or anybody else, because it's a fucking truth. And when you look into it and you open your mind and you apply it to your own life, you become emotionally free. Freedom. Doesn't matter what your environment is. My income hasn't changed. It's actually gotten fucking worse. Like nothing has changed. Like my mother, she's getting sicker. Nothing has changed. And it's like, but yet from my inner work, I'm getting happier. I'm getting more energy. I am like more optimism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I truly believe now, like when I fucked up my life, I had the old adage of give it time. Time heals all wounds. No, it fucking doesn't. And then I made adages because I fucked up in business and everything else. I'd be like, oh, I can forgive myself when I get my business going again. I can forgive myself when I get my son back. I can forgive myself, whatever, because he used to live with me. But what I didn't realize what I was doing in that time, one, I was making a deal with myself either on a conscious, I believe unconscious level, that I need to suffer now. Like I need to hurt now because I'm putting my peace out into a distance. Something external has to happen for me to change internally.
Right.
But basically what I was doing every morning when I was waking up, it's like going to the casino. Okay, I'm gonna, like something good's gonna happen today and change the way I feel on the inside. It's like, roll them, snake eyes. Fuck, another shitty day. So, but when you take the power in and you start just changing your internal chemistry, just from your thoughts, changing your feelings, whatever, this, not like, you know, kudos to Dr. David Hawkins, kudos to Wim Hof, kudos to Dr. Joe Dispenza, Wayne Dyer. I'm just looking down my book row. Like kudos to a lot of people, because like, even when I talk about this, I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. But what do I bring to the table is that I've always been able to simplify stuff. Where it might be complex to somebody, which was complex to me, I have to do it over and over and over again. And then it just gets simple.
Right.
So but again, like I take no credit, like that where I learned everything from, you know, but again, it had to be applied to my life. I'm not some fucking asshole who spent $29.95. It's like, I'm a life coach now. I can talk to fucking people about this shit. No, I lived life. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been through the darkness. I've been through the points where you watch your son open the fucking fridge door and you just see fucking slice after slice after slice. And it's because you fucked up your life that he's hurting himself. Never taught my kid to fight. I didn't want him to fight. I didn't want him to grow up like the rest of our family. But guess what? Guy went through some tough times. He had some issues with the other parent. not me, that again was hurting him. He didn't know how to handle it, didn't know how to express it. He opened, and I was already PTSD. Like I was already like, my life was just a nuclear waste zone. And I literally, like, it was nighttime and he didn't mean to. And he reached in and his shirt went back and it was like fresh cuts with old scars. Nothing, fucking nothing I've ever witnessed rattled me as hard as watching my baby, because your kid will always be your baby, fucking hurt themselves to a point where they scar themselves. And I broke. I fucking broke. I wanted to get angry. I wanted to get upset, but I couldn't. But I was broken because I didn't know how to fix that. And I'm telling you, man, when you go to bed at night and you're hoping the next day gets better, it doesn't. And it'll get worse and worse and worse until you take control on the inside. So I got a little emotional on that one. But again, I couldn't even, before in my life, I couldn't even talk about it because it's one of the most painful things I ever witnessed as a human being. Something I love, something I protected. And it's killing itself. And this wasn't like life was good and this is the only thing we're dealing with. This was, dad fucked up his life so bad, he had to go back and live with his mom. He's got no money. The guy he knew, the guy he looked up to was no more.
Right.
And I didn't even get better for years after that. It got worse. So I'm telling you, like, my son now, he stopped it. Like, I didn't even demand it. I fucking begged him. I begged him to stop. And it was just like, and when I first saw it again, it was just like, my baby is hurting himself.
Yeah.
And I
knew
didn't
a
know
girl a long time ago that was a cutter like that. It's hard to look at, man. It really is. You're just like, what are you doing? It's tough. It's not an easy thing to, it wasn't an easy thing to see as a friend, and I couldn't imagine seeing it as a parent.
Well, he did dial it back. There was only like a couple of more episodes, but he's 24 now and you can still see the scars on his body from that phase.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. I'm healed from it. Before I used to see it and it would just fucking rattle me to my core for years. I did make peace to it. And I'm over accentuating today. I'm passionate today. So that's like, it's not the tears that are coming out is just, it took me right back. I could visually see it, whatever. But like I said, I had to surrender to a lot of that as a parent, as a loving, as this, that, and whatever, even as a failure. And he was shocked because when he fucks up, I usually get demanding and whatever. And he's like, okay. But he just looked in my eyes when I begged him and I was crying. I just begged him to stop. And that played a part, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But again, he's grown up. He's probably the most, just even the last couple of weeks, he just shown me a level of emotional maturity that I don't see even in most adults. And I told him, I was like, I know you've had a rough go, but I was like, I don't want you to be a father right now. But I was like, you are emotionally equipped to be a husband and a father now. And I was like, you've shown that over and over and over again. And he's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got his emotional balance in check. And I'm so fucking proud of him for that, because the generational emotional trauma, addiction, abuse cycles that have gone back a couple of generations, they die with me, not with him. You know? So yeah, like, how's this? Even again, the power of surrender. I shed maybe 4 tears. I feel fucking amazing right now. My energy levels just like rising up. Endorphins are releasing. I can feel it. It feels fucking amazing. So a little embarrassing that I'm doing it live, but whatever. I'll get over it. That's just my ego.
Right on, buddy. Well, why don't we wrap this one up? We've been at it for a hot minute here, and let's end on that one on a happy note.
All right, my brother.
And we'll revisit this, and we'll get on to the next one. I do want to hear more about your new venture as well. Where can people find you for people that are just joining?
Surrenderclub.org is the club. Just search Jeffrey Kerins. I'm getting off social media. I'm only going to keep my Instagram for now unless something pulls me another way. But I really want to put my focus into the Surrender Club. I want to take my years of knowledge and just put it into one platform, one place, and there'll be meetings every single day online. And yeah, $12 a month, man. It costs more for entertainment than it does fixing your mental health.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Costs more for almost everything.
Yeah. So I'm trying to keep it, or it's $100 for the year.
Okay.
But again, it's like I'm putting my life's work into this. Like this should be like $100 a month because it'll work. It'll change people's life. Just learning SAFE or A.S.L.E.F.T, but it's now SAFE. I'm still trying to adapt. But if you can learn the 4 words, surrender, acceptance, forgiveness, and empathy, you can heal any emotional trauma you've been through, going through, or will go through.
Fair enough. That's all we can do. We just got to start, right? Some people just need to show up. That's what we're going to say.
That's right, man.
So just
well, thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I hope everyone that watches this or comes back and watches it learns something from it and reaches out if they need to talk to somebody. If they need to talk to you or me or anybody, just get out there. Don't be ashamed to do it. Just pick up the phone, man. Send a DM. Slide into Jeff's Instagram DMs. Slide on in there. Just slide on in there.
All right.